Hey, how's it going, everybody? It's Jazzy, the video store Sasquatch here, and I have a movie from 1988 for our Throwback Thursday reimagining. It's called Midnight Run, directed by Martin Best. Bounty hunter pursues a former mafia accountant who is also being chased by FBI, mafia, and other bounty hunters after jumping bail. They really don't make movies like this one anymore, and I don't mean it like, oh, this is like an instant classic or this is like a modern whatever, blah blah blah. They don't make good movies anymore. No, that's not what I mean by that. I mean like you don't really get a good like road trip across America kind of chase from the bad guys where you're gonna kind of have like like silly kind of stuff happen, but it's still good action, good comedy. You don't really just get that anymore. I mean, a great soundtrack from Danny Elfman, which was like exactly what we're going to try and replicate here. We're going to try to replicate the old scores. So we'll have the music, going through just like they do in this one. We'll definitely use like social media. We'll use stuff like this to like show where these guys are and how these guys are running and stuff like that, and how the bad guys or the other bounty hunters, the other mafia catches them. Um, um, we want to use ride shares, like I said, other forms of travel, maybe even boat. Have it like just have it big, like do it up big, have big stunts in it. Um, and we just want to have like crazy shoot. Like I said, we just want to have crazy shootouts. We want to have rival bounty hunters who play a little bit more of a one-upsmanship between each other because we're gonna have a better, or like, we're gonna have like a more of like a round story, a newer story. I think this one is around like 2 hours. I think we can hit it down to about hour 50, hour 45. 2 hours really wouldn't kill us because it's really well paced, and I think we will do it just well paced. And if we did have a longer, like 2 hour movie, we could have more like action sequences. So we're not going to be dragged down by the time on this one. The main thing we really want to do here is just like I said, just make it big, make it funny, make it R. I think this movie's definitely got to be R. I don't think that like a PG-13 movie would survive with this kind of, because you can just do a little bit more darker humor, a little bit more funny humor, a little bit different action sequences and stuff like this with an R movie. So yeah, we're definitely probably gonna shoot for an R here. I think the original one was an R. I didn't really look it up, but that's probably what we're gonna shoot here. The original cast was Robert De Niro as Jack Walsh, Charles Grodin as Jonathan Darkus, Joe Pantalonia as Eddie Moscone, John Ashton as Marvin, Yaphet Kotto as Alonzo Mosley, Dennis Farina as Jimmy Serrano, and Richard Forangy as Tony Darbo. Great cast. Like, we have Robert De Niro, we're gonna try and replace him here, which is gonna be kind of hard to do. Um, the You're gonna see what I mean. But the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put Miles Teller here as Jack Walsh. I think he has the humor, the wit. I think he has like a smart ass enough to him and a charm to him to be likable. He can be direct to you. He's also kind of tall, so he has a little bit of intimidating figure. And the one I was gonna start with, like, it's gonna be hard to replace De Niro. So that's the one direction I would give him, is like, don't come here and give me your best Robert De Niro impression. I want you to be something on your own here. This is gonna be an action comedy. This would be like a buddy action comedy. Like, they plan to play it a little bit different in this, but I think in ours, that's what it'll be. It'll be more like buddy action, more funny, more stunts. But we'll still like the stunts will be easy and make him look badass, but it won't be like way overdrawn where he's like running miles and stuff like that. We're not gonna do nothing crazy like that. We're just gonna keep it simple, keep it easy, and he'll be perfect there. Ty Burrell is Jonathan Mardukas. He's a dad. He's America's dad from Modern Family. I mean, so first, maybe have him play a little bit more cynical, maybe a little more callous, maybe kind of be a little bit of a standoffish to teller, kind of a dick. But as we get the movie going, kind of show his charm, allow the audience to like him, because at the end of the day, we want Jack to take the money from Jonathan and go and live his life and separate. There's no reason to bring in Jonathan and ruin it like five different, all these people's lives, and we could have just had Jack, do it, just take the money. So that's kind of what we're trying to get here. I think that's why Tyrell would be a good thing here, and also it'd be like a standby, like, oh yeah, It's the same thing with Charles Grodin because he played a lot of father roles. He's the Beethoven father, so there's like a lot of good trust there for the audience that would work. Vince Vaughn as Eddie Moscone, the Bales bondsman, I think would be perfect. I think if you watch that and you see kind of how Vince kind of loose and goes, like that'd be perfect. He'd be roasting a Miles Teller and as Jack, and we would believe it. But since he's a little bit older, we'd believe him more as a mentor and everything like that, and like someone who brought him in. So we'd understand why Jack ain't just gonna screw him over in the while all this is going on. So I think that's why we would have Vince Vaughn here. He just has the wit and the charm to do it, and he would be perfect. And even the more like asshole moments would still be funny with Vince Vaughn. So that's why we have him. Boyd Holbrook would be Marvin. I think his role from like Logan, like where he's kind of like more unhinged and crazy, is kind of what we're looking for. But we remember we want to be funny, we want to be action star, we want to be cool. We want him to almost not outshine Jack, but just get to be as cool as Jack, if you kind of get what I'm saying, because they're going to be the main probably conflict in this one, as to where there's a lot more to do with the bodyguard and stuff like that in the original or the goons. We probably won't have as much with the goons. There's a couple scenes that we'll kind of have him deal more. I think he's just perfect. He could, like I said, he would be as cool as Jack. Like he just would play his role here. I'm pretty much I know for sure that we could get him involved more than they had the original Marvin, and it may make it more worth his time too. Um, Winston Duke here as Alonzo Mosley. I think 5 years ago this would be Anthony Anderson. Maybe 5, 6 years ago it was Anthony Anderson for sure. But I think that Winston Duke here, he would nail it. He's funny, he's intimidating, and I think he's like one of those dudes that looks like cool. Like he'd just be cool to hang out with, and he gets it. He'd be perfect. Yaphet Kotto was a big guy. He's intimidating, but he brought a lot of sense of humor to just a blank stare. And I think Winston Duke could do the same here with Miles Teller and um, uh, Boyd Holbrook and Vince Vaughn kind of pushing him along and being the funny kind of off him while he's being a blank stare. Especially since he's just so big and intimidating, I think it worked perfect. Steve Buscemi, this is the get. This is the one that's like this is my random actor, but I think he'd be good as Jimmy Serrano. The bad guy. I think him like yelling at people will be intimidating, but funny, and he has the. I mean, even in The Sopranos, when he was the mobster guy, he was good in it. So I think he could do it here. I think you take him serious enough. I think he'd be funny enough, and you definitely don't want to cross him as a bad guy. Kind of has those crazy eyes. Definitely play that into it. I think it'd just be perfect. And there doesn't have to be a huge role, like I said, because we could have like a Marvin coming in, and he would do it just as where Boyd Holbrook as Marvin come in and have a bigger role, and we could kind of shrink that role to where maybe we just have like 2, 3, 4 scenes max. Because yeah, we have to arrest them and stuff like that. So maybe 4 scenes max, where but like the 5, 6 minutes he's on screen, he'd just be on and it'd be good. Um, Damon Harriman here as Tony Darbo, Dewey Cox from Justified. I'd love to have him just do it. I'd have him be a redneck, ignorant, bad guy type, just like Justified. I'd be like, dude, just be Dewey Cox, except you're in LA. I'd make it like known that Vince Vaughn hired him to pay off his bond, and like he's working to be Vince Vaughn's bitch, and like Vince Vaughn making fun of him. So that makes sense why he goes and tells where Jack and them are at throughout the time of him knowing, because it'd just be funny. Um, you even put a tracker in because it's modern days, and have him know every time someone stops, and then he's telling people, and it just every time he's in a scene, just have someone talk down to him. I think that's a good. That'd be funny. It'd be a good funny part for him. He gets it. I know he has to get it, and he keep it light, and he could take him serious if he had to at the end of the day. So that's perfect. And then Scott MacArthur and Tom Segura as the goons. I think it'd be like a real like wet bandit situation here, and I think these two would be kind of funny. Scott MacArthur would be big enough to back up the action, and you just have Tom Segura talking shit. I think that'd be funny. They're both comedians, so they both play their strengths well here. And they both protect themselves as far as what they're willing to do and what the comedy is. So I think that these two would be like just perfect, like wet bandits. Kind of like I said, like you need about 5-6 minutes from Buscemi. You probably need less time with these two, and it'd still be just as memorable overall, and you'd still remember these two at the end of the day. So that's kind of why they'd be the goons here. That's kind of my cast here. I think this movie was very good. I think that um, uh, Robert De Niro is good in it. I think that the story is good. I'd love to see it like a modern adaptation of it. Like that's why I just keep thinking of stuff like this. Please let me know what you think. Please like and subscribe. Have a good rest of your day or night, and thank you very much for watching, everybody. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe. Comment your top movie picks for Throwback Thursday in the comment section, and see you next time in the cave.